There's a concept Neville Goddard talked about that most people skip right past, because on the surface it sounds simple, almost too simple to matter. But once you actually sit with it, it explains something that most manifestation teachings never quite address. Which is why two people can want the exact same thing, use the exact same techniques, and still get completely different results. He called it the circle of awareness, and I think it might be one of the most underrated ideas he ever shared. Here's the basic idea. Neville said that you can only experience, only manifest, only become aware of what already exists within your own consciousness. Not what exists out there in some abstract universal sense, but what exists specifically within the boundary of your own awareness. Think of your awareness like a circle. Everything inside that circle is available to you. It can show up in your life, it can become your experience, it can manifest as your reality. But everything outside that circle simply isn't accessible to you yet. Not because the universe is withholding it, but because your own consciousness hasn't expanded to include it as a real possibility. This might sound abstract, so let's make it concrete. Imagine someone who has only ever known financial struggle their entire life. Not just experienced it once, but lived inside that reality so consistently that scarcity became their entire frame of reference for what money is and how it behaves. For this person, the idea of ease with money, real, calm, unshakable ease, isn't just something they don't have yet. It's something that doesn't even exist within their circle of awareness. It's not part of their internal map of what's possible. So even if they try to manifest wealth, even if they say the right affirmations or visualize the right scenes, there's a ceiling, an invisible boundary, because deep down, true financial ease was never a real, felt possibility within their consciousness. It was always outside the circle. Now compare that to someone who grew up around financial security, who has always seen money move easily, who has never experienced true desperation around finances. For that person, manifesting more money isn't nearly as difficult, not because they're doing anything more advanced, but because financial ease already exists comfortably within their circle of awareness. Their consciousness already includes that reality as normal, as expected, as obviously possible. Manifestation, in this sense, isn't really about learning a new technique. It's about expanding what your consciousness considers real and possible in the first place. This reframes so much of what people struggle with when trying to manifest something completely foreign to their current experience. If you've only ever known chaotic relationships, deep, peaceful love might genuinely feel unreal to you. Not just unfamiliar, but almost impossible to imagine with any real conviction. If you've only ever known scarcity, abundance can feel like a fantasy, rather than a felt, believable state. This isn't a character flaw, and it's definitely not something to feel ashamed of. It's simply a reflection of where your circle of awareness currently sits, shaped by years, sometimes decades, of consistent experience. So the real question becomes, how do you expand the circle? Because if manifestation is limited by awareness, then the actual work isn't just repeating affirmations about a desired outcome. It's expanding what your consciousness considers real, familiar, and possible, until the new desire actually fits comfortably inside that expanded circle, rather than sitting awkwardly outside of it. Neville suggested that this expansion happens primarily through imagination, but not the surface-level kind of imagination where you simply picture a goal like a photograph. He meant something deeper, entering imaginative scenes so vividly, so repeatedly, that they start to feel like memories rather than fantasies. When you imagine a scene with enough emotional reality, enough sensory detail, enough repetition, your consciousness starts to treat that imagined experience as part of your actual lived history. And once something becomes part of your felt history, even if it was only ever imagined, it moves inside your circle of awareness. It stops being a wish and starts being a reference point your mind now considers real and familiar. This is why simply wanting something isn't enough, and why forcing positive thinking often falls flat. If you're trying to convince yourself of an outcome that feels completely foreign, completely outside your circle, your mind resists it, because on some level, it senses the disconnect between what you're saying and what you've actually integrated as real. But if you approach the process gradually, expanding your sense of what's possible bit by bit, giving your consciousness small, believable steps toward the new reality, the circle expands naturally, rather than being forced into an uncomfortable stretch that snaps back the moment your attention wavers. I think this is also why surrounding yourself with certain environments, certain people, certain experiences, even certain stories, can genuinely shift what feels possible for you. Not because those things magically manifest your desire directly, but because repeated exposure to a new possibility, felt with enough emotional engagement, can slowly pull that possibility inside your circle of awareness. If you've never seen anyone in your life build a successful business, the idea of doing it yourself can feel abstract, almost theoretical. But the more you expose yourself, imaginatively and experientially, to what that looks and feels like, even before you've achieved it, the more that reality starts to feel like it belongs inside your world, rather than someone else's. There's also an important insight hidden in this concept about why manifestation sometimes happens instantly for one desire and painfully slowly for another, even for the same person. It's rarely random, it's almost always related to how close that particular desire already sits to the edge of your existing circle of awareness. If you're manifesting something only slightly beyond your current experience, something your consciousness can easily stretch to include, it often happens quickly, almost effortlessly, because very little internal resistance stands in the way. But if you're trying to manifest something dramatically, far outside your current awareness, a completely different level of life than anything you've ever directly or indirectly experienced, it typically takes longer. Not because the law itself is inconsistent, but because your consciousness needs more time, more imaginative repetition, more emotional reinforcement to genuinely absorb that new reality as believable. This actually offers a really practical insight for anyone feeling frustrated that their manifestation isn't working fast enough. Instead of only focusing on the big dramatic end goal, it can help enormously to intentionally expand your circle in smaller, believable increments first. If ultimate financial freedom feels completely outside your current awareness, maybe the first expansion isn't imagining massive wealth, but genuinely absorbing the feeling of simple, steady security. Once that smaller reality feels natural, feels like it truly belongs inside your circle, the next expansion becomes easier. Because you're not trying to leap across an enormous gap all at once. You're gradually widening the boundaries step by step. Each step making the next one more believable than it would have been otherwise. I also want to touch on something slightly deeper here, which is that your circle of awareness isn't just shaped by your own personal experiences. It's often shaped by inherited beliefs you never consciously chose. Family patterns, cultural narratives, generational beliefs about money, love, health, and success. These often quietly define the edges of your circle, long before you're even old enough to question them. This is why some people feel like they're fighting an invisible resistance when trying to manifest something that seems, on paper, entirely reasonable. They're not fighting bad luck, they're often fighting an inherited boundary they've never consciously examined or chosen for themselves. The empowering part of understanding this concept is realizing that the circle isn't fixed. It's not some permanent cage you're stuck inside for life. It's simply the current edge of your consciousness, shaped by past experience and past imagination, both of which can be deliberately expanded through new, consistently repeated, imaginative experience. You are not limited by what your life has looked like so far. You're only limited by what you currently accept as real. And that acceptance itself is something you have far more influence over than most people realize. So if there's something you've been trying to manifest, and it keeps feeling frustratingly out of reach no matter how many techniques you try, it might be worth asking a slightly different question than usual. Instead of only asking, "How do I manifest this?" ask, "Does this desire currently exist within my circle of awareness, or is it still sitting just outside the edge?" And if it's outside the edge, the real work isn't forcing belief through repetition of empty words, it's patiently, imaginatively, and consistently expanding what feels real to you, until the very thing you're chasing eventually stops feeling like something distant and unfamiliar, and starts feeling, quite simply, like an obvious and natural part of who you already are.